So Fred, before you have your aliyah, you'll stand at the Torah. Yeah, no, you stand. No. You put the chuppah over your father. You just want to be over him. But before we do the aliyah, there we go. So Fred, I just want to share some words to you. It is an honor for me to be able to speak about you this morning. As I like to do every year at this moment, I've chosen a verse from our tradition to speak about and connect it to you. The verse that I've chosen is from Pirkei Avot, Ethics of Our Ancestors. Yehoshua ben Prachia and Natal the Arbalite received a tradition saying, select a teacher for yourself, acquire a colleague for study, and when you assess people, tip the balance in their favor. Why this verse? Let me start with the end. Fred, I'll start with your profession. You're an attorney, a person who takes a sense of law and righteousness seriously. You have taught from this pulpit about the relationship between Judaism and the law. You understand how one should go about assessing someone. You are one of the most gracious, thoughtful, learned people I have ever met. Your aura reflects one of kindness and fairness. You are someone that I know always tips the balance in favor of people, whether you have just met them or you have known them for years. I also chose this text because of the way you have been my partner in elevating our community learning. As a participant and as a leader, you have helped people find a teacher and become study partners. You have inspired members of our community to take ownership of important ideas, and you have helped translate that vision into reality. You understand that Judaism is not only a top-down experience, but a grassroots movement where many should be involved. You've told me in the past that you didn't mean to get so involved, that after your years in Port Washington, your assumption was that you would just be a regular congregant here at Sutton Place Synagogue. I can't remember the exact moment, but I am glad that we connected. I'm glad that you have been someone who has grown our community learning programs here, and I'm glad that you have made so many teachers here and so many colleagues. For you have encouraged people to study and grow. You have worked to create a community with the Evening Minyan crew. I don't know how many of you know this, but there are a group of gentlemen that come almost every evening to Minyan, and they call themselves the 164 Club. Why? Because Mincha begins on 164. But they don't just meet at Minyan. They have dinner, they go to shows, and next week we're all having lunch together. Fred, you're a leader amongst leaders. You're a motivator, a friend, a devoted husband, father, and grandfather. As we are completing the book of Deuteronomy, we have the ability to reflect on the gifts given and lessons learned by Torah as seen through Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher. Fred, we have learned so much from you, and we will continue to do so in the future. Thank you for everything, and Mazel Tov on this well-deserved honor. All right. Baruch Adonai Baruch Le'olam Va'ed.
ציון ישראל פתח בדן עין יעקב אל ארץ דגן ותירוש אף שמע ויערפותה לה אשריך ישראל מי כמוך עם נושע באדוני מגן עזרך ואשר חרב גאוותך ויקחשו אויביך לך ואתה על במותימו תדרוך ויעל משה מערבות מואב אל ההר נבו ראש הפסגה אשר על פני רחוב ויראו אדוני את כל הארץ את הגלעד עד הדן ואת כל נפתלי ואת ארץ אפרים ומנשה ואת כל ארץ יהודה עד הים האחרון ואת הנגב ואת הכיכר בקעת יריחו עיר התמרים עד צועה ויאמר אדוני אליו זאת הארץ אשר נשבעתי לאברהם ליצחק וליעקב לאמור לזרעך אתננה הראיתיך בעיניך ושמה לא תבוא ויעמוד שם משה עבד אדוני בארץ מואב על פי אדוני ויקבור אותו וגיא בארץ מואב מול בית פאור ולא ידע איש את קבורתו עד היום הזה ומשה בן 120 שנה במותו לא חטא עינו ולא נס ליחו ויבכו בני ישראל את משה בערבות מואב 30 יום ויתמו ימי בכי אל משה ויהושע בן נון מלא רוח חוכמה כי שמח משה את ידיו עליו וישמעו אליו בני ישראל ויעשו כאשר ציווה אדוני את משה ולא קם נביא עוד בישראל כמשה אשר ידעו אדוני פנים אל פנים לכל האותות והמופתים אשר שלחו אדוני לעשות בארץ מצרים לפרעה ולכל עבדיו ולכל ארצו. Please rise. ולכל היד החזקה ולכל המורה הגדול אשר עשה משה לעיני כל ישראל. חזק חזק ונתחזק.
You may be seated. I invite Fred over to the pulpit to share a few words, and I invite Judy's chuppah holders to please go to the foyer.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your kind words. Chag Sameach to all. Last week, as we had the last Kiddush in the Sukkah, which I know is going to come down the next day, I started to think about what the Sukkah and this holiday means to me and to my family. And I traced it back to our home when we lived on Long Island, and we put up a Sukkah every year. And I thought about the excitement around the beginning of Rosh Hashanah when we discussed with each other, when will we put up the Sukkah? When will we go to cut the schach? And Irene would discuss what she was going to prepare to be eaten and consumed in the Sukkah. And then the week finally arrived, and my children and I went to a waterfront area near our home, which was a marsh-like place, and we were able to cut the schach, which we put on the roof of the Sukkah. And then for a week, we dined in the Sukkah. Neighbors came to visit us, some to dine with us, some to have only a Kiddush, some to say the bracha in the Sukkah. And this small little structure suddenly became a very significant part of our lives and of the lives of so many people around us. My co-congregants, my neighbors, my friends, and my relatives. And then before we turned around, the week was over, and it was time to take the sukkah down. So we took down the sukkah, and we put the parts away for storage, and I suddenly realized that this structure, which was so fragile, was so really strong and such a significant factor in all our lives. It was a building of strength, and it was a building that lasted for a long time. So I thank God for that structure. And then I thought about the sukkah I was standing in, at the top of this building. And I thought of what went on inside this building, and what does go on inside this building, and particularly what's gone on inside this building over the last several years. This building has become a structure for both religion, education, cultural activities, social activities, and a variety of other things that make the structure below this sukkah so valuable to all of us and such an important part of all our lives. I thank Rabbi Aid, I thank Dov Karen, I thank everybody else who was involved in the preparation for this. I thank, of course, Harriet Janova, who is a part of everything that happens in this synagogue, the entire staff, and Baruch for his participation and his help, and the entire staff. And I offer my congratulations to Judy Agata. Yesterday morning when we finished services, Judy and I met and greeted each other, and she said to me, "Fred, I think you're my brother-in-law." Ladies and gentlemen, I think that sums up what goes on in this structure. So I say Shechianu for the ability to have reached this day and contributed somewhat to the making of this synagogue of what it is today. And I say Shechianu to my wife, who is just shy of 65 years as my wife. And I say Shechianu to my children, who when I told about this and asked them to participate, simultaneously sent me an email, "It will be our honor to participate." So again, I congratulate Judy, her friends, and her entire family, and I wish you all Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach.